All right, it is Pick Central, Barstool's daily gambling show. None of my regulars are here. Rico couldn't show up. Smitty, out. Ben Mintz in Vegas for the rest of his life, apparently. Big Av, don't know. Marty Mush, somewhere watching White Sox baseball. So I went to the bullpen and got my good friend. Clap it up. Clap it up.
Well, I didn't get on the graphic, but that's fine.
That's my fault. You told me you'd be on the show about 11:30, and I forgot. I didn't tell TJ who could put you on the graphic. That is my fault. I apologize for that.
Okay.
Let's talk some ball. You want to
Let's talk some ball.
Let's talk some fucking ball.
First question, Brandon. How
Yes.
many have you in your life ever emailed Bruce Allen from the Washington football team? Are you a little nervous? 650,000 emails?
No. I
never emailed them.
I'm not personally nervous because, it would have to be for my work email, right? They're not just going to
No, that was Gruden's private email.
No, it wasn't. Was it really?
Yes.
They can search your private email?
They were searching Bruce Allen's email.
Oh, his work email.
Correct.
I see. That works out.
So have you ever emailed Bruce Allen from the Washington football team?
I've never emailed Bruce Allen from the Washington
right.
football team. Have you ever emailed Bruce Allen?
I have not. I did get a little chuckle that Gruden, the report came out, and Schefter was like, John Gruden disparaged women, minorities, gay people, and Roger Goodell.
Arguably the worst one to disparage.
The most persecuted classes in America are women, minorities, gay people, and the son of a senator who gets paid $40 million a year.
Right. Pretty much the most powerful man in sports, yeah.
It's honestly like, that's the part of this whole story that's crazy to me, because it really is, if Roger Goodell doesn't get yelled at, if Roger Goodell doesn't get disparaged in an email, I don't think that this happens.
No, it doesn't happen at all.
Which is so.
That is the impetus for all of this.
Is the hypocrisy in all of this, and I do think, like, I saw some people. I saw a couple real lightning bolt people online be like, "Well, Eminem is doing halftime show, and his lyrics are shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up." That's so stupid.
Yeah, listen, nothing he said is defensible in the least. The only thing that gives me pause is like 10-year-old emails do bother. They weird me out. They weird me the fuck out. That like 10 years of information
but those are aggressive.
That's
emails.
too far. Yeah,
yes.
That's way too far.
Yes.
Like, it's right that it happened to him, but at the same time, it's like, that's really a hairy spot, especially for. Listen. Football coaches talk like assholes, a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, how much is out there is
oh, yeah.
You start peeling back the onion. But that being said, my favorite part of this whole thing is asked you to be on the show about 15 minutes ago. You graciously accepted, and I said, we could talk about Gruden. You said, well, I don't know if I want to talk about Gruden.
Well, I mean, it's the number one story. That was pretty much all I have on it, is that it's clear John Gruden pissed someone off to get this story coming. Like, nothing is a coincidence in life.
Right.
It wasn't just random that John Gruden, his emails get put out there, and they basically, if you follow the timeline, the NFL was like, fire John Gruden, and showed him the emails on Friday, and the Raiders were like, no. And then on Monday, when they hadn't fired him, they're like, all right, here are more emails.
Wait, some of these emails from 2018?
Yeah, no, they spanned a a while, so it's not fully 10 years.
So he was hooked on that life.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, it makes more sense because as it comes out, you find out he's looking through 10-year-old emails. But if it's this thick of a pattern, that's just something you can't have in your organization if you're the NFL.
Yeah, I mean it's I just don't I think John Gruden probably is not like an awesome dude. Like I think that's a leash. Like I think actually I'm still on the Pick Central text thread, and Mincy was like, this John Gruden story is crazy, and I was like, is it? Like, I'm not none of this story is that surprising.
The only surprising is how ubiquitous it probably is throughout the league. Like, there's probably a lot of Grudens out there.
No, I do. Yeah.
And that's not fair, but there probably are. Just in life and society, across every race, creed, or anything, there's a lot of Grudens.
Yes. And I am a big second chance guy, and I do think that, like, there is a people like, it's not cancel culture, it's consequence culture. Like, look, there's clearly a witch hunt thing. This, I think, is a little separate because he was going in.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah, and he was. I mean, if you are emailing somebody's work email like that, that could be subject to search at any point.
I wonder if he gives up his $100 million. All right, we can stop talking Gruden.
He walked away.
Yeah, so
there's calls to fire him. He has no claim to that $100 million.
But I wonder if he maybe has a backhand deal.
I mean, they might be able to cut a deal for like.
I don't like how close I'm sitting to you.
Where do you want to sit? You've been bothered by this the whole time. Go sit over there, and we'll talk to each other from across the room. But is it that weird to talk to each other from 12 feet away?
No, I'm gonna adjust.
Do you want me to move?
What are the people saying in the chat?
Nothing useful. They haven't
let's
really
talk some ball. So
you want to talk college ball? Or you want to talk pro ball?
Let's talk college ball. That was probably boring.
No, let's talk pro ball first. Let's talk pro ball first. Okay. First of all,
you want to go over my power rankings?
I don't want. You can have that for your show. I do
have.
I
mean, those are power rankings. They dropped today.
But I have a thing I want to rank.
What?
So I'm obsessed with ranking quarterbacks.
Okay, let's do it.
And I think with Lamar's performance last night, there was a time last night, I don't know if it was Stephen Shea, it might have been, but in the first quarter, somebody tweeted who the fuck did they beat? The Colts are begging Lamar Jackson to pass to beat him, and he can't do it.
Yeah.
And this was like in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then, I ended up starting watching the game in the second half when I got home, and he puts together an immaculate performance, incredible performance, 400-something yards.
The Colts were very banged up.
Right.
I think Lamar Jackson is an incredible talent.
Right.
I like in terms of franchise quarterback, I'd take him in a second.
Sure.
Because it's very clear he is one of those guys that cares so much about winning and losing, and like he is a great franchise quarterback. I still, at the end of the day, think it's completely fair to throw in the fact that if you're down and you got to throw, and that he did it last night, so I'm going to give him credit.
Yeah, he did it.
He was incredible last night.
They were down 22-3 in the third quarter.
Incredible. The Colts secondary is banged up. I want to see it in a big playoff moment before I'm like, he's just as good as Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Like, those are the three guys that I always put it this way. Those three guys will make up for like weaknesses across the board on their team.
Right.
I don't know if Lamar is there yet.
And
he's in that second tier, though. He's with the Josh Allen, the Dak Prescott. Russell Wilson, I'm a little down on Russell Wilson.
So to get the top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now today, Russell Wilson's hurt. He's not in this conversation.
Okay.
The top 5 quarterbacks in the league today, I think there are 8 candidates.
Okay.
And I think those candidates are Aaron.
Well, no, there's not. There's not 8 candidates. There are Mahomes and Rodgers are in there.
No, I think there's 8 candidates though.
Yeah, but those aren't. There's actually only there's 6 candidates for 3 spots. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, you can't have a top 5 quarterbacks list and have Mahomes and Rodgers not in there and have it be worth any grain of salt.
I would say almost you have to stretch it to Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady.
Yeah, probably.
And have 6 spots for 2. Okay.
People could make an argument for Brady. I don't buy it. I think he's just as good as he's ever been. I saw a stat the other day. He's thrown 4 400-yard games past the age of 40.
He just had his most prolific game of all time.
First time he's ever gone 400 yards, 5 touchdowns.
It's ridiculous.
Which is a little misleading because I looked it up and he went 380 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's went 410 yards, 4 touchdowns, but either way.
But you can make numbers dance however you want to make them dance.
All right, so there's 2 spots for 5 guys.
Okay, and those 5 guys are, all right, it's Lamar.
Yep.
Dak.
Yep.
Herbert.
Yep.
Kyler and Josh Allen.
Yep.
And then the 2 I got outside of that group are Stafford and Derek Carr.
I like Stafford.
Outside that group.
No, definitely not Derek Carr. I like Stafford, but I also think Stafford is – I mean, I've made the argument. I've been out on an island that Stafford's going to be a Hall of Famer because the numbers he's going to amass. You're going to have to figure out what to do with some of these guys. Like Matt Ryan is going to be a Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah.
Like some of these guys' numbers are going to be so insane at the end of their career. All right, so is this who I have to choose?
Yeah, okay. So you're giving we're giving 3 spots to Rodgers, Mahomes, Brady, right? Mm-hmm. We're finishing out the top 5. Are we putting Dak in there? Kyler, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert? Who are we putting in there?
I would go
right
this second I'd go Dak and Josh Allen.
Josh Allen for sure, I think. I put Josh Allen ahead of Dak.
Yes. Because I also think Josh Allen, he's not as fast as Lamar, but he is just, and actually Dak in that respect too.
Yeah.
Dak and Josh Allen are better passers than Lamar.
Right.
And they still add the element of you have to guard 11 guys, or not, obviously not the offensive lineman, but you have to count for 11 guys because they can both take off and run.
And listen, the chat boys are freaking out because I said Carr is the 10th best quarterback in the league.
No, he's not. Yeah, that was the
10th best quarterback in the league?
The chat boys are correct. Shout out the chat boys. Thumbs up in the chat.
I did a little research this morning.
you.
It was purely a numbers thing. Like his numbers he's second in the league in passing. He's second in the league.
No.
And as the 10th best quarterback, though, I'm not saying he's in the top 5. I'm saying
I'll give you 10. I
had him at 10.
I'll give you 10 that I like more than him.
All better than Carr.
Right, Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes.
Yeah.
Dak, Josh Allen, Lamar, Russell Wilson, Kyler. Who am I forgetting from the other list? Herbert.
Yeah.
So I'm already at 9.
Stafford.
I'm at 9. Stafford, I like more than him.
Give me one more.
Hold on. I have one more for sure. Joe Burrow. I like Joe Burrow more than Derek Carr.
Fair enough.
I like Joe Burrow more than Derek Carr.
But it's not crazy to say Derek Carr's 10th best. Like, he's between 10 and, 15. He's right there. I mean, he's not.
I'm trying to think.
He's top half of the league. Baker.
I'm missing someone. Yeah, Baker. I think Baker and Derek Carr are about, the same spot. I'm missing someone, though. Who am I missing? I'm missing an obvious one.
The chat boys aren't saying, somebody says Jameis.
Yeah, Jameis, that is a big miss. I'm missing someone more obvious, though.
I don't think you are. Tannehill?
No. I'd take Matt Ryan over Derek Carr.
Is this not? Yeah, maybe the 2021 version of Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan's a better. I mean, he's definitely had a better career than Derek Carr. I don't know. He's played well the last 3 games. Have you seen his numbers the last 3 games?
Somebody says Daniel Jones.
I have a little bit of a love affair with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
I know that it's stupid. Like you fall in love with guys because as bettors, you fall in love with a guy that wins you money, and if you ever have a big win with a team, you have a little bit of a love for them.
Right. When did that happen with Daniel Jones?
Well, it happened. I think it was the first time he ever came in the game. They won that game against the Bucs, and then he is a really good underdog on the road. So every time he goes on the road, I bet on him, and he wins me money. So the Saints game 2 weeks ago was awesome. That was money line and spread. Awesome.
Okay, listen. No to Jalen Hurts. And
no to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, I nailed Jalen Hurts. It's probably very coward of me to say it.
Yeah.
Colin Coward. Jalen Hurts is he's not Mr. Right, he's Mr. Right now.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Because he's just not the future of any program.
Jalen Hurts, saying something nice about Jalen Hurts, I think Jalen Hurts is the best backup in the NFL.
He can be a very valuable guy to have on the football team.
He's
because
the best backup.
When he is a backup, he's going to be a remarkable change of pace if he's used that way. Right. He's going to be a breath of fresh air when your starter either can't do it or he gets hurt. All of a sudden, you put Jalen Hurts in. The game plan for the defense is out the window.
Correct.
They don't know what to do. So I think he would be a great backup. He's not a great starter. You got a weekly game plan for that guy, especially as he gets deeper and deeper. It's going to get worse and worse for him. All right, we can talk pro football if you'd like. We also got Heisman contenders too.
Oh, okay.
So a little college ball.
What do you think about Michigan State's quarterback?
Peyton Thorne? Is it Thorne?
No, maybe not quarterback then. Running back?
Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker is a top 3 Heisman candidate right now.
He's got to be.
He's literally no other running back has got 800. He's at 913.
The way that this season is set up, I'm so excited for the month of November and the rest of October because, talking about the Big Ten.
This is the most exciting Big Ten in 30 years.
But it's also going to be incredible how it all lays out because October 30th, Michigan plays Michigan State. Penn State plays Ohio State. Then in the middle of the month, they all kind of exchange. And then at the end of the month, Michigan plays Ohio State and Penn State plays Michigan State.
Right.
So those 4 teams just go back and forth for a 5-week stretch that will decide everything.
So who do you believe in more right now? If I gave you $100 and said you have to buy stock in Michigan or Michigan State, which one passes the test a little bit more right now?
Oh, God.
Because they're both right there in the rankings. They're both undefeated. Neither has a great win to hang their hat on. I think Michigan State's resume is probably a little better than Michigan, especially the way they handled Rutgers and Michigan didn't. They both got lucky to beat Nebraska.
I don't know about that. I think they're probably similar.
They're very similar. They're 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Michigan State went down to Miami. I know Miami's a mess, but that still is a better win than
beat them 38-17.
Yeah, that Michigan State win against Nebraska though was very fluky.
Yeah, it was. So was the Michigan one.
No.
It was 29-29. They got the fumble. That guy, you can't fumble there.
No, that's not the same fluke.
It's a different fluke, but it's fluke.
Look at the box score of Michigan, Nebraska, and look at the box score of Nebraska and Michigan State.
Now, Michigan did outgain Nebraska.
Right.
Yeah.
Michigan, hold on, I'll pull it up. Michigan,
I think it was 450.
I bet Nebraska against Michigan State because that was like the rattiest line of all time.
Yeah.
And we actually almost lost it because of that fucking interception in overtime. Shout out that announcer who almost jinxed it. That fuck. He was like, the only thing that could ruin the point spread here is an interception for a touchdown, and then they picked it off and almost ran it back.
Now, I got a question. Did you buy Jersey Jerry, the Nature Valley bars?
I did.
Wasn't that Dave's responsibility? And
no, I did,
Barstool's?
because I thought it wasn't – we didn't negotiate well enough, so that was kind of a penalty on myself.
Oh, okay.
Nebraska had 440 yards to Michigan State's 254, and they had 26 first downs to Michigan State's 12.
Yeah.
So that's one of those games where you look at it and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, they dominated the game.
So for that alone, I would probably give I'd give Michigan the edge right now.
Yeah, I guess if you're using that one game, Michigan might be a check in their favor. But the Rutgers game, you got to flip it there because they both play Rutgers. Michigan State went to Rutgers, handled them easily. Michigan beat them 2013, couldn't move the ball.
I know, but I also think that I don't know when you're up big. They were up big at half. Yeah. Okay.
I think Michigan State's got a better offense with more dynamic playmakers. I think Michigan's got a better defense. But regardless, I don't know if the Big Ten is the best conference this year. But the next 6 weeks will be more exciting.
The deepest.
I would say it's going to be more exciting than any other conference.
Yeah.
And it might be the best. It might, if Alabama isn't one of the 2 or 3 best teams, if they're actually one of the 7 or 8 best teams, then that gives the SEC a kind of a big hit. And I would say the Big Ten could be the best, but they're definitely the most interesting going down the stretch.
I also wouldn't be shocked if Iowa Iowa really just has to win one game.
Yeah, in Indianapolis.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that I think that game against Wisconsin in Camp Randall will be interesting.
No, you know what's going to be interesting for them because Nebraska has flirted with knocking teams. If Iowa goes in there 11-0 to Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, that's going to be rough. The day after Thanksgiving.
But I do think that Wisconsin will also be like that will be a tricky game for them because Wisconsin's not good, but they're also not bad. If that makes sense.
Well, they're bad against good teams, good against bad teams.
Right, but they've played like.
Well, I mean, Penn State was just basically almost a draw, and Wisconsin kind of didn't give that game away, but they played well enough.
And again, Notre Dame killed Wisconsin, but they didn't.
Yeah,
like in a weird way, they didn't. It was 13-10 or whatever going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah. It was a very close game, and then the kickoff return happens, and then the wall falls down.
So I wouldn't be shocked if that game's a little close. Here's something I want to throw out there.
Yeah, throw it out there. This is a friendly space. We can throw out anything.
What's the line in the Georgia-Kentucky game?
23.5.
Now, I would put Kentucky winning this game at maybe 2%.
Wow. Okay, what are you about to say?
If they win this game, they're going to the SEC championship game. The rest of their schedule is very easy. They play Vanderbilt, Tennessee, I think Missouri. What, in Louisville?
Mm-mm.
You think Tennessee?
Mm-mm.
What? Mississippi State?
Next week.
Oh.
Next week.
Where is it?
Starkville.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys are going to get your ass kicked by Alabama.
They're going to get their ass kicked by Georgia.
No, I know.
Well, in your scenario, though, they have beaten Georgia.
But they would have – if they beat Georgia, they can lose to Mississippi State.
But anyway, so –
could you imagine?
It'd be wild.
It's like a 2% chance, but their schedule – like they did the hard part by beating Florida and LSU.
I wouldn't even put it at 2%. Like Kentucky has done what they need to do so far. But Georgia's just a different animal this year, man. Kentucky hasn't really been – they scored against LSU, but they haven't really been able to score against decent defenses. They couldn't score against Missouri. They couldn't score against Florida. And Georgia's different.
They are, but they're also – like they have not played a great offense yet.
And Kentucky's not a great offense.
I know, but I'm saying Georgia's different.
Yeah.
But if they get in a game with a great offense, I don't know if that – I think their defense is very good. I think that college football has gotten to a place where really good offense can always beat really good defense.
I think we're reversing that this year.
But they have not played, and Clemson is a complete – like we thought that week one game, Clemson, like, oh, it's Clemson. DJ Umagalea was awesome against that game in Notre Dame.
Right.
Their offense is a joke.
It's bad.
Auburn, Bo Nix is trick-or-treat city.
But this is the year that defense has come back in college football.
But I want to
see,
like, if they played Ole Miss, do you think Ole Miss wouldn't be able to score 24 points?
I think they would be able to score 24. Ole Miss is a bad example, though, because Ole Miss is going to make Georgia's offense look really good.
Yeah, no, I know. But I'm saying they have not played an offense.
Okay, so
I don't know if they – I mean, I
Tennessee.
guess
Tennessee's pretty good offense.
Florida's a decent offense, which will be in Jacksonville in a couple weeks.
Florida's decent. Tennessee has a very good offense that's in like top 10 in scoring and all that. So they're gonna they're going to put them through their paces, and we'll see what it looks like when they play a good offense. But even when they get the SEC championship game, like Alabama's offense is good. It's not elite like it's been.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I don't think Georgia's like – I'm not taking anything away from Georgia. I'm just putting into perspective that they really have not played a good an offense that can beat you multiple ways. Arkansas is very one-dimensional.
Right.
Auburn is one-dimensional, especially when Bo Nix is doing weird shit. Clemson is just a trash heap.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more that offense doesn't really exist.
But
in this year's college football versus – you know what I mean? There is no offense. There's no 2019 LSU. There's no Alabama from last year. There's no Ohio State when they're really cooking.
I'm old and out of shape. If I played you in basketball, I wouldn't look very good. I just wouldn't look very good. But if I played
also old and out of
if
shape.
I played LeBron James, I wouldn't be able to score a point, right? And because he is just so much better than me. He is so much. He's wildly better than me. And Georgia's wildly better than these teams. Like, they're not just beating these offenses. They're absolutely suffocating them, choking them out.
How'd they give up an offensive touchdown this week to Auburn? What was the score?
It was early, right? I don't remember. We were both in the plane when it happened.
We were in the plane.
So they've given up 2 offensive touchdowns. One was in garbage time to South Carolina, and one was early to Auburn. Hell, it might have been set up by a defensive score. I don't even know. By the way, we're going to Knoxville this week.
I'm so excited.
We're going to, and this is the first time. Listen. Just to take y'all behind the scenes a little bit. We're going to Knoxville, and Dan and Dave, it's a hassle. They never really want to go to a game. These two both want to go to this game bad, and we're going to the Tennessee Ole Miss game. We're going to be there. We might stay.
I want to go. I want to go to games.
Yeah, maybe I misspoke.
It's very hard to go to games at this point, and that's not like, oh, you guys are so. But it is. It's hard to go to games because. Right. When we're on a college campus and people know we're on a college campus, people want to hang out. They want to take pictures. It's hard to go in and out of seats and stuff. So I'm excited for this game, though. I mean, this is Doug's coming home. I got to make a coming home video for myself, which is
right.
Is that a total narcissist move?
Oh, yeah.
But it's also not for myself. It's for Doug's.
Yeah.
Who is my alter ego, but also a real person. It gets confusing.
Is he coming? I don't know. It's all in the air. But there we go.
I love Doug's. I love Coach.
It's
Doug's.
also Lane Kiffin's return.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin's return. One of the nicest guys. I do get confused sometimes when people are like, why isn't Doug's coming? It's like, well,
you're Doug's.
I'm Doug's.
Right.
That's me. That's
right.
That was me.
You have your own personal avatar who actually lives a life.
Right.
Is
exactly.
a human living being.
I'm the one who played the games, created the whole thing. But yes, I think Doug's will be there.
Have you come close since you shut it down last summer to starting it back up for a little bit?
So the only it's funny you say this because I was actually thinking about it last night. The only thing that's stopping me from doing it is that I have to clean my my home office.
Right.
My Xbox is under a pile of shit. So the day I clean my home office will be the day I probably start playing again.
But I know that feeling because I have all video games at my house. And I'm like, man, all I want to do right now is play that game. But it's in the garage,
right? And
I got to go get it, and then I got to find the cables.
It's also I just don't have time. I don't. Actually the best moment of my entire week is Monday Night Football. Because it's the only game that I can sit on my couch and not have to do anything.
That's the one you sit at home and watch.
I do nothing. I sit at home, I watch, and I just so every other night is taken for, and I don't really have I would like to play, though.
By the way, shout out to Rico Bosco, who retweeted the stream for us, even though he's not on the show today.
Wow.
It's a team player.
Miko Bosco.
That's it. I said Rico.
Oh. Can we talk about Cincinnati real quick?
We got a whole list. We can talk about anything you want.
Can we do an ad first?
Yeah.
You do an ad.
All right, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and the Barstool Sportsbook and Casino is helping raise awareness with a merch giveaway. From October 15th to 16th, opt in, then place any single $50 cash wager on the nominated Barstool exclusive bet. This week is the Kelly in Vegas Parlay, or you can bet a minimum of 20 hands on live dealer blackjack during the same time. Win or lose, you'll score an exclusive Breast Cancer Awareness Barstool Sportsbook crew neck, and 100% of all proceeds will be donated to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Tennessee, call or text the Tennessee Red Line, 800-889-9789. All right. Where were we going? You want to talk about Cincinnati, the college football team?
Well,
or the Bengals, or both?
I was going to say
can figure it out. What else?
I was going to say Cincinnati. So Cincinnati needs – I still think they need help.
I don't know. I'm kind of working on a tape. I'm workshopping it.
Let's workshop it right now.
This is kind of the year where every year in October, maybe even September, every week we say, well, who's the top four? Who's the top four? I think this year that is a futile and useless exercise until like the third or fourth week in November.
Well, no, you can do a top four right now.
You can do it, but it's just outside of Georgia. Georgia's the only sure thing right now. Like Iowa's too, but you don't believe Iowa's the second best team. Nobody does.
Yeah, but they're going to be there at the end.
Possibly. They could lose to somebody. They could fuck around and lose to somebody. They could lose at Wisconsin.
I would say they're the second most sure bet.
I don't know that. You know who I think the most sure bet is to make the playoff?
Who?
It's a team that's not in the top four. I think it's Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean they're always going to be there. They're always.
But I think they're the second most sure bet.
I think they have Penn State and Michigan State at home. They have
do.
To go to Michigan. I just Cincinnati I think needs help. Like they do. I don't think an undefeated. This is a bet I made with Kirk Herbstreit, and I actually still like my side. The bet was simple. Will Cincinnati go an undefeated Cincinnati go to the playoff over a one-loss Power 5 team? I do not think that will happen. I think that
their problem is that one-loss team might be Ohio State,
or
who will have
Oregon, or even Oklahoma. Like, do you see a scenario where Oklahoma with one loss doesn't get in over Cincinnati with no losses? I don't.
No, because Oregon would have the win over Ohio State on the road, which will be, especially if Ohio State hangs around, it'll be like the strongest win of the year.
Right. So Cincinnati needs Oregon to lose again. They need Oklahoma.
That's very possible.
Yes, they need Oklahoma to lose twice.
Oklahoma just keeps winning.
Although Oklahoma has to go to Baylor and Oklahoma State.
They just keep winning, and they got this
Caleb Williams.
They got new life.
I know.
Oklahoma fans were depressed. They were still winning, but now they have new life.
It's going to be very interesting what Lincoln Riley does, though, in the next couple of weeks.
I mean, he has no choice.
Well,
what could he possibly do?
No,
He's got a new quarterback.
I agree he has no choice, but for a different reason.
What?
You're saying he has no choice. He has to go to Caleb Williams.
Right.
I'm saying he has no choice. He has to figure out a way to keep Spencer Rattler involved.
Because he has to keep a backup?
He has to keep a backup. What happens?
That's what killed Penn State. That's what just killed Penn State.
Correct. If you don't keep a backup in today's college football, like Spencer Rattler, if Lincoln Riley says Caleb Williams is a starter tomorrow, Spencer Rattler will be in the transfer portal on Thursday.
That's why Georgia's so lucky. In the era of the transfer portal, the luxury of a backup quarterback is gone.
Correct.
Penn State just lost a football game because they didn't have Will Levis, who's now at Kentucky.
And then somehow Ohio State, and someone should look into it, has like 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, for now, they're all young.
Someone should look into it.
Next year, they might have one.
Someone should look into it.
Ohio State?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, no, it's very.
Alabama doesn't even have 2 quarterbacks.
It's very telling of where college football is Penn State loses that game to Iowa, and Will Levis wins the game against LSU, who is the backup at Penn State.
But the thing
they win that game if Will Levis comes in.
The thing about Rattler, though, is he's not going anywhere in the middle of the season. He can't transfer it anywhere.
No, but you can
declare. But what don't you think it would be in his best interest, even if he gets to just stick it out and then 1st of December, then you enter the transfer portal?
I don't know. I don't know what type of guy. I don't know how he's wired. I just know that
I don't know that he's wired.
I think Lincoln Riley's
there's Tony Khan.
Got to figure out a way to keep.
Hey, Mandy.
He's got to figure out a way to keep him engaged.
Where are they going?
I don't know. Probably the green room.
Oh, that's Tony Khan, AEW president, Jacksonville Jags. Is he a minority owner? Don't make that joke.
Don't
make that joke.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay, all right.
Are you going to ask him about Urban?
No, I wasn't going to. I'm doing a wrestling show with him today.
To ask him about Urban. Did you see Urban Meyer said his goal every week is to rush for 250 yards and pass for 250 yards?
Yeah, that's a hell of a goal.
Do you know how many times that's happened in the last 52 years in the NFL?
Either 0 or...
No, actually more than you think.
10?
30. But 52 years?
50.
He wants to play
That
NCAA.
is a great goal, though.
Yeah, it is. We should all have those goals.
But when you think about it, I wonder how often he did it at Ohio State and Florida. Probably more.
Probably every game.
Right, probably a lot.
Yeah.
He had both those teams running and passing at optimum. I know it's a lame joke on Twitter, but Urban has to be loving this Gruden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is this is a godsend to him.
That's not a lame joke. I made it.
No,
I want to keep the heat on Urban.
When I say lame joke, it's everybody's making it. Everybody's making that observation, but I guess it's a true observation.
His team is he is so not in lockstep with this team. It's fucking comical. I read the quotes on PMT yesterday.
Yeah.
he said after the game, we're desperate for a win. We're desperate to get into work and, like, desperate for a win. And then Trevor Lawrence's quote was, we can't get desperate. It was, like, back-to-back, so perfect.
I still by the way, they're going to win this week.
Yeah, probably.
They're gonna beat the Dolphins.
Dolphins are bad.
The Dolphins are really bad. But at least we didn't take Tua over Justin Herbert.
Oh.
But at least we didn't trade back from Jamar Chase's spot to take Jalen Waddle.
I can't do the Dolphins talk because I have to deal with Frank all Sunday.
Well, I don't.
Frank on Sunday.
I don't get as crazy about it as he does.
Frank on Sunday spent 3 hours like screaming and bitching that the Dolphins don't have a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Finally, I just looked it up, and they do.
They do have a first-round pick.
They're the 49ers pick.
Yeah.
He's like, but the 49ers are going to be the pick 30.
We don't have our first-round pick.
Yeah, he has the 49ers in the
49ers
end.
will be soon 16 and 20, right? They're not going to make the play. They might make the playoffs.
Yeah, they might make the playoffs, but yeah, he has them making the NFC Championship game.
No. Well, that's not. Yeah, we have a first-round pick, but it doesn't matter if we have a first-round pick.
He said He said they're going to be the 20th pick. That's basically not a first-round pick.
We botched every first-round pick over the last few years anyway, so what does it fucking matter?
Yeah.
Let me get another one. Fresh from San Diego. Start that one again. Fresh from San Diego, California, come the only sunglasses brand I will ever wear again. I'm talking about Blenders Eyewear. You're going to be just as hooked when you see how awesome these shades are. They're perfect to wear when I'm out in the beach. You know how often I go to the beach. I go to a ball game. I go tailgating. Hell, I'll be in the sun this weekend in Knoxville. I'm sure it's going to be sunny down there. I love wearing them to tailgates. They're fantastic. Chase Fisher started Blenders by selling his beachy shades out of a backpack while doubling as a surf instructor at Pacific Beach. I wonder if Chase Fisher is related to Steve Fisher. He was San Diego State's coach, right?
Yes.
Just something to think about. He coached Kawhi Leonard. His goal, create an adventurous mid-price eyewear option with the same cool factor as other leading styles. Unlike expensive big brand shades that you've probably lost or smashed in the past, Blenders are actually affordable, so you're not going to cry as much when the inevitable happens. Blenders' team of in-house designers are constantly coming out with new styles, from orange polarized wraparounds, tortoiseshell frames with purple lenses, to classic gold arms on black lens. To score 15% off your Blenders purchase, visit blenderseyewear.com, enter promo code PIXVIP. That's blenderseyewear.com, code PIXVIP for 15% off. Blenders, rocked with pride worldwide. And I know I'm a very busy man. You're a busier man than me. Are you starting to at least realize that college basketball is
Oh,
is
no,
right?
I said it to Dave on Sunday. I was like, you want to know something scary? We have college basketball in 4 weeks.
I know. And college basketball is kind of right there simmering. You're starting to get the practice videos. You're starting to get the hype videos. But it's too much. It's like college football and pro football is just is killing everything. Like pro baseball is right on the back burner right now, but the playoffs have been electric so far.
No, I mean I've said it out loud, and people get worried whenever I say it, but I don't know how much longer I can maintain this lifestyle.
It's not. It's you know, I've told you it's pretty
football
crazy.
season.
It's
Well,
pretty
the problem
crazy.
is I love football so much, but
Right.
I also I'm not.
You work
I don't
yourself
ever
till 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't ever want to get to a point where I don't love football, and I'm not there, not
Right.
even close to there. But I also know that like if I'm doing this when I'm 40, this exact schedule, I will die.
No, there's going to come a time
I will die.
when you're, it's going to come a time. It's going to come a time.
I'm not a spring chicken anymore.
I am. I've been working out. Have I told you that?
Again?
No, just back in May. I'm still counting that.
That does still count.
We can go wherever you want, but let's talk about White Sox Dave a little bit. The whole thing, Cusack, whatever. Apparently on the Barstool Sportsbook, I think you got 30 more minutes. I think they play at 1 today.
2.
At 2? Okay, so you got an hour and a half. To opt in, $100 bet on the White Sox gets you the foul little boy hoodie.
I love this hoodie so much. I also this is the part of Barstool that makes me I get so happy when these stories come out, because people like flipping out and being like, Barstool's a bunch of Neanderthals, like White Sox Dave's a Neanderthal. Well, he might be, but whatever.
Right.
I fucking
No, he
love him.
is,
He
yeah.
actually makes me. I said this today. I think that he's like top 3 people in my life that make me laugh the most.
But never when he's trying to make a joke.
Right. But the band list, if you actually are taking this all seriously, and then you look at the band list,
Right.
and he put someone on the band list,
Can we get the band list up?
both this life and the afterlife. He put the weather on twice.
It's banned for eternity?
He banned someone for eternity. Like, just The people on Twitter that are so fucking up their own ass and take everything so seriously, just for, like, I've always said this, if you take everything we do at Barstool completely literal all the time, your brain is rotten to the core, and of course you're going to spend all day thinking about us and being mad about us.
All right, so 27 and 29 are the weather.
The weather again. I don't agree with Mike North. I love Mike North.
What'd Chris Russo do?
I don't know.
Okay, so is Marlins Man on the list?
He
or
doesn't
just
like,
somebody.
he doesn't like Marlins Man, which I don't like that he doesn't like
But
that.
I don't know that Marlins Man's on the list. It just the guy.
Yeah, but it's clear that Marlins Man is not. He doesn't like Marlins.
I don't understand Steve Stone. I'm going to be honest.
I think he got in a Twitter fight with him.
But Steve Stone is the White Sox.
But he got in a Twitter fight with him. He got in a Twitter fight about something about being positive or something. I can't remember.
Marty Mush is on the list, and Marty Mush is going to the game with him.
Yeah, but he's on the list.
He can't celebrate. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, I don't think he will. He's rooting for the Astros, so he's on the list.
Scott Darling, the first baseline at Sox Park.
Yeah, I think there's probably just a long
some
line
obstructive
to get
views
in.
or something,
right.
something like that.
There probably something happened in the game.
I don't know who Austin Schick is. Barstool Chicago.
Yeah,
that's
I think
just the rest of the guys.
I think they were. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, they were being negative about the White Sox or something. So yeah, it's a great list.
You know what I respect about this?
What?
Cusack, who's all the hot rage now. He was very early on the list.
Oh yeah,
he was 10th.
That's the part of this whole thing.
He didn't just add him to the ban list.
People don't. When you watch that video and people are like, White Sox Dave blindsided Cusack.
Right.
You can actually see White Sox Dave's like, you're on my ban list. John Cusack knew exactly who he was. He did. You could see it in his face. That's why he unloaded the, like, who's the White Sox first baseman.
You think he's been carrying around Mike Squires for years?
Cusack knew who he was and knew the band list. Like, that wasn't just a surprise. You can see it flip when he said it.
By the way, Cusack kind of ruined the whole thing. It was all funny,
crazy.
But then when he went with the whole Barstool misogyny and all, he kind of ruined it. And it's just, it was fun.
Himself into a fucking tizzy.
He worked himself into a shoot.
Yeah,
he worked himself into a shoot, brother. All right, I don't know what you want to talk about, but
what else you got on your list?
So the Nets have announced Kyrie just can't do anything.
Yeah,
Kyrie is in vaccination. If he's not going to get it, he's just not going to be involved with the Nets. And this is. I don't think this is a vaccination story so much as it's Kyrie. It's a Kyrie story again. It's always a Kyrie.
This isn't like people will take it as pro anti-vax, which I don't have any time for any of that shit. Just get fucking vaccinated. Stop reading like Facebook memes and actually talk to real doctors, not doctors that don't even like whatever.
That's actually what I did.
Talk to a real doctor.
I talked to Dr. Ned Miller. I said, "What do you think?" He said, "What the fuck are you waiting for?" I said, "Okay,
dude." Like. My wife got vaccinated when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Because her doctor was like, yes, of course you can do it. It's like, it's fine.
Anyway, let's not talk about that.
All right. The Kyrie part. At some point, it's just being a bad teammate.
Right.
So take out the vaccination part. Like, someone had a tweet today I saw. I can't remember who it was, but it was very funny. It made me think. They're like, could you imagine if coronavirus was happening in 2008 and Lamar Odom told Kobe Bryant, like, I'm not going to play for half the games?
Oh, man.
Kobe Bryant would kill him.
Right.
Be a good teammate. Just fucking be a good teammate. You get Johnson & Johnson one shot, be a good teammate. Play the game with your teammates. So at that point, I don't understand that aspect of it, where it's like, why hasn't anyone sat him down and been like, dude, we really want to win a title. We like you. And I think actually guys really do like Kyrie, because you can tell that guys really like Kyrie if he can get away with, like, not get away with it, but be this type, be as much like in and out as he is and still have his teammates not like, no one said anything bad about him on his team.
Yeah, with him, though, right now it's the vaccine. But whatever's happening in America 2 years from now, I feel like Kyrie will be caught up in that.
But I'm fine with him being outspoken. He has a platform. He can say whatever he wants. Yeah. I'm just talking about from a team perspective.
That guy looks famous.
Just be a good teammate.
Who was that guy?
I don't know.
I don't know who that guy was either. He had very famous hair.
People are mad in the chat about this.
Of course they are. Whatever. You can never even kind of talk about it, so it's fine. Just the chat boys are
worst takes.
I love the chat boys.
Jordan would vaccinate his entire team. He would fucking
Jordan would take the needle and yes.
Lib Dan on his soapbox again. How is what I'm saying liberal?
Jordan just sticking the needle down Steve Kerr's neck when he doesn't get it.
Lib cat.
I want
to know how it's what I'm saying is liberal.
It's not. Anyway,
I'm saying be a good fucking teammate. Like, that has nothing to do with politics. You have to do something to get on the court with your team. Do you do it or not? If you don't do it, you're not a good teammate.
Let's throw some college football lines out there.
Okay.
Let's throw some. These are the ones that stuck out to me.
I want to look at the chat a little more.
It gets easier and easier, brother.
Next topic. We're going to the next topic.
Right.
I know I'm right. Thank you, Jim Fisher. Take out all fucking politics. Are you a good teammate or not? That's it. If you can't play half your games, the best availability is availability.
All right.
There we go. I'm not crying. You're crying, Bill the Butcher.
Syracuse.
But that is a sick name, Bill the Butcher.
It's a good name. And
I like that.
There's a lot of good guys.
I like you, Bill the Butcher, even though we disagree. See, we can disagree and still like each other.
Isn't that beautiful? That's America, what it used to be. All right. So, Clemson minus 14.5 at Syracuse on Friday night. Syracuse is a place that they've been covering at home.
This is something that happens to every bettor. Very relatable.
Right.
One game happens, and it sticks with you for years and years and years. Clemson went to Syracuse and lost at Syracuse on a Friday night game, and now I replay that in history. And when Clemson could go to Syracuse in 20 years, and I'll be like, Syracuse is live.
But that is – and the two totally different teams. They were so much better than Syracuse was, and Clemson was so much better. But now Clemson is still vulnerable. Like, even the games they're winning, they're not winning by more than 6 or 7.
Here's my worry about Clemson.
They barely beat Georgia Tech. They barely beat Boston College.
Talent-wise, still it's such a big gap. Like, even the Texas A&M.
I think a lot of that talent's assumed, though. We assume there's a whole lot of talent. But that offensive line isn't that talented.
But let's just do it like this, right? A&M, 18-point underdog to Alabama.
Right.
A&M has had a terrible year. A&M's unranked. First time that Nick Saban lost to an unranked team since
2007, Mississippi State.
Nope. Louisiana Monroe.
No.
2007.
No.
Yes.
No.
That was the last time.
No, that was non-conference unranked.
Yeah, but no, I said unranked.
Well, Mississippi State happened later.
I don't think so.
I know it did. It happened November 6th. I know it happened November 4th, 2007.
I don't know why I'm arguing with you in that.
Yeah. November 5th, 2007. The final score was 17-9. 17-12, 17-12, Mississippi State. I mean, you can keep looking if you like.
Yeah, no, I'm stupid for doing this, but I'm still going to do it.
Anyway.
Yes!
What? No, it happened after.
Louisiana Monroe beat Alabama the week after.
Fuck! Fuck! All right. You win this
Apologize to me.
No, I'm not going to apologize. We had a nice little disagreement.
Mississippi State was ranked 21.
We were ranked
21.
We sucked that year.
Oh my God, you were doubly wrong.
We went 6-5.
I'm back.
We were not good that year.
Holy shit!
That was Sylvester Croom's one bowl season.
Wow.
Beat UCF in a bowl 10-3. Who was there? UCF's running back. Record breaker. Remember?
I don't know.
Record breaker. No. Kevin Smith.
Wow, what a pull by me, and what a terrible pull by you.
Was that a nice little adrenaline boost on a Tuesday?
That was good. So it was 100 games. But all right. So back to my point. My point is, A&M. Unranked, terrible season, everything. They still have insane recruits. They still have crazy, crazy talent. They're what? A top 10 recruit. Jimbo's done top 10 recruiting classes, 3-4 years in a row?
Yeah.
Like, that adds up. So my point being that Clemson is bad. Clemson's a mess. They still have insane talent, and I'm just worried at some point the insane talent will flip, and it'll be like, oh, fuck. Like, Clemson just beat Syracuse by 28. That's my only concern. I probably still will take Syracuse, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's very similar to when we were talking about the Wisconsin-Illinois game that you took Illinois.
I was wrong
terrible
on that one.
pick. Yeah. Wisconsin is one of those teams that when they're having a bad season, there still is a floor to their bad season. Just like Wisconsin isn't Clemson, so don't say I'm comparing the two. But when Clemson is having a bad season, there still is a floor to their season, and there's a floor to their talent that they won't dip below.
Right, but the problem with this in the Clemson analogy here is Clemson's already dipped below that floor multiple times this year.
Well, no, they haven't.
They only beat Georgia Tech by 5.
But that's still a win. No, conference
still a
games
win,
are tough. But no, who did they lose to?
They're 14.5 point favorites.
BC.
They're 14.5 point favorites.
I understand, but who did they lose to? Who have they lost to?
They lost to NC State and Georgia.
NC State's a win, a loss that That's their floor.
But,
when Clemson is not
but
good,
the context here
they
is them
lose to
covering.
NC State.
The context is them covering.
Yes.
And I just need to come within that 14.5.
Yeah.
And they didn't beat Georgia Tech by 14.5. They didn't beat Boston College by 14.5. Now they're going to turn it on the road on a Friday night at Syracuse.
No, you're right. You're right. I off a bye week.
Off a bye week. Now that helps a lot. That helps a lot.
I'm not saying bet on Clemson. I actually wouldn't bet on Clemson right now. What I'm saying is if you bet on Syracuse, there is a 25% chance that Clemson's talent and everything will kind of flip and you'll be fucked fast.
Okay, now, Saturday, 11 a.m. Ed Orgeron is pretty much done.
I would say, as done as done could be without still having the job.
And his best player's out. Keyshawn Boutte is out, one of the best receivers in the country. He's done for the season.
Keyshawn
Boutte.
Brendan.
You're right. But Florida giving up 11 at Baton Rouge seems wild to me. Florida's not that good. Florida, we boosted them up very high. They got to 11, and they stayed 11.
Also, Dan Mullen's not good as a favorite.
He's not good as a favorite. This is 11. I mean, 11?
No, you're right.
And that's just – and it opened at 2. And it's been bet up to 11, so that seems like a red flag line to me.
I feel like that team is going to quit.
LSU?
Yeah.
We thought that.
As much as it hurts
Here's
me.
the thing. We thought that last year, too. Remember last year? They lost to Missouri.
Yeah,
they
but
lost to
now
Mississippi State. But last year they came back. They beat Ole Miss in a shootout. They beat Florida in the swamp. We thought this last year.
It's not going to be a great crowd. It's not going to be
No, it's not going to be a great crowd.
What do you think?
It's going to be a sleepy
crowd.
crowd.
Be a sellout.
It's going to be 75%.
Right.
And it's no, it's not. But still, 11's a lot.
Poor Jake and Hank both in the summer made this trip. They're both going down separately. Hank's going to a bachelor party and Jake's going down, and it's they thought it was going to be an afternoon, night game. Awesome. LSU, Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do a deeper dive into road games in the SEC this year and how toxic they are, how much harder they are, because I look at it Alabama's had 2 games where they look mortal. There's their only 2 road games of the year. They look mortal at Florida. They look mortal at A&M. I just wonder, Florida at LSU, even if it's a 75% crowd, is still at LSU.
Yeah, but it's sleepy. Now, give me another one. I'm gonna jump out in 4 minutes because I got to take a piss and get ready for my interview.
You got an interview at 1 o'clock too?
Yes.
I have an interview at 1 o'clock.
I'm interviewing Tony Khan. Who you got?
I got Tony Khan. You
don't
have
Tony.
No. You don't have Tony Khan.
No, I don't have Tony Khan.
Okay.
Booger.
Do you have that other famous guy?
No, Booger.
Oh, Booger.
Booger McFarland.
You're not telling me that I have a
No, Booger.
All right. That'll be cool.
Yeah. We have him on a few times a year.
Do the last ad? Got to do the last ad, and then I got one more game I want to talk about.
All right, and then I'm going to bounce.
I understand that you're going to leave.
Credit to me for being a great friend and showing up today.
No,
That's just big time.
I do want to shout out Dan. I appreciate it. I was scrambling. I didn't realize nobody would be here. And
I like talking ball.
It is fun. Hasn't it been nice?
It's been very fun.
It's been very good.
I love talking ball.
In 2016, Cuts founder Stephen Borelli felt boxed in by his wardrobe. He hated having to compromise between style and comfort. I kind of feel boxed in by my wardrobe right now. Anyway, so he decided to do something about it and started with reinventing the humble plain tee. The result? A tee that GQ calls the only shirt worth wearing. Stylish enough for the boardroom or the street, comfortable enough for workouts in the gym or nights out at the club. You might think, do we really need a new take on the T-shirt? The answer, fuck yes, we did. We sure did. Cuts became world famous for making shirts that look as great as they feel, whatever life throws your way. And now they're reinventing work leisure below the waist, too. Designed to never take a day off, even when you do. When you're commuting to the office or out on a date, Cuts joggers offer comfort that never quits and a style that never disappoints for a wardrobe as ambitious as you are. It's not just a lifestyle. It's not just clothing. It's work leisure apparel for the sport of business. Get 15% off your first order at cutsclothing.com/picks. That's cutsclothing.com/picks. Auburn plus 3.5 at Arkansas. Arkansas has had a tough go on the road. Arkansas lost to Georgia. Then they lost a heartbreaker at Ole Miss. Auburn, what have they done recently? They lost to Georgia. They're coming off the loss to Georgia. But last year, Arkansas beat Auburn in Auburn, but the refs gave the game to Auburn.
Yep.
And Arkansas knows that. They've stewed on it for 365 days.
Sam Pittman did a tweet like, we need everyone out early.
And now they're coming home, and I think Arkansas is about to exact some revenge at Auburn. I can't believe it's just 3.5.
I'd agree.
Okay, well, that wasn't very much discussion on that one. Ole Miss -3 at Tennessee. Tennessee can score. Ole Miss defense.
Yeah, the over-under's 80.
80.5. 80.5. I got to ask Ben Mintz if that's the highest in SEC history, but I think it is.
I think it
It's one
might
of them.
be.
Yeah.
It might be.
He'll be here tomorrow. We can ask him.
Okay.
Um,
The Arkansas game, I also do think that Auburn coming off that there are teams that will beat you up.
Yeah.
And that is definitely a Georgia team that beat them up. Like Arkansas played a track meet where it's not playing Ole Miss is tough in terms of like defense, but it's not physically tough.
No. You're in the locker room the next day after Georgia, just looking and counting the bodies.
Right.
And with the other one, you're not. And then Oklahoma State plus 5.5 at Texas. Oklahoma State's undefeated, but I wonder if Texas.
Did you see the Texas?
Which
thing
way is
last
Texas
night?
going to go?
That
When
I
they finally
bullied them?
tweeted?
2 days they didn't tweet. They just went dead.
You think you did that?
I mean, it happened 5 minutes after I brought it to everyone's attention. Someone brought it to my attention. Shout out that guy who's an OU fan. And I tweeted and be like, Texas hasn't tweeted in 2 days. Are they dead? And then 5 minutes later, they tweeted.
Yeah. All right, you can if you want to go.
All right, yeah, I got to go. Yeah. All right, thank you, everyone. That was fun.
That was great. Fantastic. Where's my fucking phone? All right. I would say the number, 646-291-2437, but I don't have time to take a call anyway. Please watch and listen to the Brandon Walker College Football Show. That is every night at 6 on Sling TV. I am the Sling. I am the king of Sling. Can you add a pick to my card, please? I think App State's winning the game tonight. I think App State's winning comfortably. App State. So I'm going to have App State. I guess I can do my picks if you want to put my picks on the board, and we'll figure out how to fill this last 7 minutes. Ben Mintz is down bad. This is shocking. Well, first of all, you wear an Ole Miss sweater, you know you're going to lose. He's on pace to lose 73 units in October. How do you go down 26 units in 12 days? I'm glad I said 12 days because that reminds me of my wife's birthday is tomorrow, and I got to buy her a Louis Vuitton bag. I tried to buy it yesterday, and it didn't work, so I need to buy my wife a Louis Vuitton bag. Brandon only has time to talk about the SEC. You guys just make shit up. I talk about Michigan. I talk about the Big Ten. I talk about everything, and you guys say, oh, he only talks about the SEC. You dumb fucking cunt. I've been talking about all kind of – I talk about every conference everywhere. Why do people say stupid things, TJ? It's just me and the chat boys. Let's see how mad the chat boys can make me over the last 5 minutes. No NHL picks? Correct. I have no NHL picks. I need to get some hockey experts on here. Because if I gave you NHL picks, I'm just guessing. I'm just lying. You know, I'm just Marty Mushing my way through life. I want to be able to research the picks, and I want to be able to do these things. I don't know NHL, so I need to get maybe Chief. Maybe I can get RA. Some of them to call in and do some NHL stuff. Brandon be shopping. Yes. Brandon, look at White Sox Dave's tweets. What did White Sox Dave tweet? Did he tweet something? By the way, I haven't decided if we're going to fire that guy or not. I haven't decided yet. This guy, behind the scenes, last night, that guy with the beard has worked here for 3 days. 2 weeks. He's worked here 2 weeks. 2 weeks that guy's worked at Barstool Sports. Looked me dead in the eye last night and says, you know what? You look better with the beard. It hid your double chin. 2 weeks this motherfucker's worked here. He's already coming at Brandon fucking Walker. All right, what do we got? What planet am I am? What an idiot. What planet am I am? He threw out a name drop of a player with 6 career bombs that played well before I was born, and he wasn't even correct anyways. Squire started 20-something games that year. Wimpy was main starter. Forgive me for not knowing that off the top of my head. I love that he's gone back and Googled things to reinforce his argument he never knew. Today I learned that if you're a sports reporter, you probably shouldn't heckle John Cusack at a game because he's apparently a walking encyclopedia of baseball history. Well, then, good Lord. Snowden just going to suck his dick for him? Hey, PFT. That's a good-looking hoodie, buddy. I like that. It's flesh-colored. Makes you look like a big titty. Titties, man, titties. What else we got? Brendan, thank you. Better without the beard. He is right. The beard looks better. I've already started growing it back. I understand if it's a mistake to shave the beard. I know. But he doesn't have to tell me. He doesn't get to tell me for 2 weeks what I look better as. Talk about the Ducks. The Oregon Ducks. Anaheim? Who are we talking about? Which ducks? Just ducks in general? Ducks are a sneaky, mean animal. You know who's a mean animal? A goose. Gooses are assholes. Geese are assholes. Complete assholes. And don't fuck around and try to tangle with a swan because a swan will whip your ass. I'm telling you. If we all wanted to do outdoors talk, I don't know if anybody does outdoors here at Barstool. We could do outdoors talk. Beavers are surprisingly docile. They have the teeth and they have the tail, but they're scared of you. They'll run from you in a heartbeat. Otters are fun to play with in the wild. You can just throw them crackers and stuff, and they'll roll over on their back. Skunks. Now, skunks an animal that scares you, but you really don't need to be scared of skunks because they have to get to their last resort before they ever spray. They don't like spraying. A skunk does not like spraying. They don't like to excrete that. But I've had a skunk walk. I was on the phone once. I was talking to my boss, and I was outside, and a skunk walked. As I took a step, a skunk walked betwixt my legs and just kept on going. Skunks, man. Skunks are good animals. I think I dreamed I went on a wild expedition last night and saw a bunch of porcupines. That dream just came to my mind right now. Just a bunch of big porcupines. I think it was in Idaho. Not sure why I was in Idaho. I'd love to go to Idaho, though. Idaho sounds like the big sky. I'd love to go out there. Here's my picks. I got Dodgers -1.5. I got Astros money line. I got Braves Brewers under 8.5. And add App State, please. Add App State. App State, App State, App State, App State. That is, those are the picks that I want to have. Ron Swanson, feels like Ron Swanson doing the solo show. I love when Ron Swanson did that solo show. That was incredible. When Joan Calamazzo passed out. Joan Calamazzo was a good character. That show had great side characters. Perd Hapley was a great side character. Joan Calamazzo was a great side character. John Ralphio was maybe a goat side character. I guess Creed's probably the greatest side character of all time, but was he a side character? It feels like he was just he was a regular, so he wasn't really a side character. Who were the side characters on The Office? I guess Todd Packer, maybe Hunter, Jan's assistant. But back to Parks and Rec. You had John Ralphio, Crazy Ira, and the Douche. I mean, just on and on and on. There were side characters. They were fantastic characters. They were fantastic at everything. I love Parks and Rec. The thing about Parks and Rec, I will never watch seasons 1 and 2. I just won't really do it. With Parks and Rec, it starts when Chris Traeger and Ben Wyatt get there. Once they get there, you got a good show. Otherwise, I don't really watch it. I don't watch those early episodes. It just isn't as good. Their voices are different. Remember when Family Guy started and the Family Guy voices were so different? I guess Simpsons too. I guess that's just what TV is. But back to Parks and Rec one more time. Even the side characters in The Office, I love. Tom Haverford's a decent character. Donna Meagle became a great character as the show went along and along. It was just a really good show, a really good fucking show, and I love that show. So, John Ralphio probably.